Hi and welcome to another episode of Hereford FC here on Vanilla FM, and today we're going to just wrap up what happened at the end of last season. I'm already in the process of starting a new season. I haven't really had time to record episodes, so I kind of kept going so we can get as far as possible into the game before the beta drops for the next edition of Football Manager 2025. Little bit by little bit, I'm going to take us through what happened towards the end of the last season. Let me just go to schedule, load up last season, and also bringing in the screenshots. So, the first thing that happened last season was, sort of halfway through the season, we had a few players mentioned. Kenny Lawless, our attacking midfielder, left, won the Best Young Player of the Year. In the meantime, our token Nugent from our own youth team, Octay, who's been playing as a striker for us when Valentino Torres isn't playing, he won the Young Player or Young Wonder Kid of the Year. So if we go into those, Kenny Lawless, here he is. So he's no longer young, so I don't think he'll be nominated again. 23 years old. Octay, he's developing quite well. Obviously, the summer took a bit of a dip, but developing quite well. What else? Next news item. Oh yeah, one of our midfielders has won goal. Was it goal of the year? Goal of the season? So if we go to Ignacio, he's actually, for his age, still keeping up with the physical attributes, doing really well, I think. So this is one to watch out for this season. He got the goal of the year last year. Let me just go through the rest of my screenshots. Golden Glove. Our goalkeeper didn't quite get Golden Glove, but he did get third place. So we do have a solid goalkeeper. If I go into our main goalkeeper, which is actually Diego Zupel, he played the majority of the season last year. So he played 51 games. 66 games in total last season, which is way more than he had ever done in previous seasons. If we compare it to Guillermo, who's been the backup goalkeeper for the past couple of seasons, in fact, last season he only played one competitive game. So I think this season will be similar. He's pretty good backup goalkeeper, I guess, and he's happy being in that role. So there's no reason to change it. I obviously claimed Manager of the Year, having led the team through a few titles. So if you go back to the schedule, we won the league with a big gap. We also won the FA Cup against Liverpool, the Champions League against, I think this is AC Milan, and the Carabao Cup, that was earlier in the year. Carabao Cup we won against Arsenal, and all the other trophies at the start of the season as well, the Community Shield, Super Cup, and so on. So we got 5 trophies last year. The Premier League last year, if you go to stages, roll back 1 year, the Premier League, it wasn't as big of a margin as last year, but it was still pretty big. I managed to do undefeated as well, which is pretty good. So that was good as an achievement. 5 trophies in 1 year. We had one player named in the best 11, and that was our defender Simon Tibble. He did really well last year, which was, not his best year, but still managed to be up there with the rest of the players. We did pretty well stats-wise. So if we look at this stat here, I'm just going to pop onto the screen now. So we got, the the highest or the least number of conceded goals per game, which is pretty good considering our big margin that we won by. All the other stats are pretty good as well. I mean, we did have a lot of fouls, which I guess doesn't help, but yeah, it was a good year for us. We did make a bunch of money, but we have spent it as well. So if you go to finances, you will see we are in the red, but we did reach quite a bit. Income-wise, this season we had a decent amount of income from less sponsorship than last year, surprisingly. I don't know why. Didn't sell many players this season, but yeah, we did have a sizable amount. Obviously, if we look at prize money, we had a good amount of prize money last year as well. So that all came in at the end of the season. We had a big peak there, 189. So that was from selling players in the winter transfer. But if we look at this season, we spent quite a bit of money on players. And what's actually not showing here, but we are doing, is that we are improving our facilities. So we are increasing the stadium by 10,000 seats. And we are also improving the youth facilities and the training facilities as well. So if you go to the board, ongoing, we're improving all of our facilities. So we're spending a decent amount of money on this. We had one player nominated for the Dream Team. That was Ignacio Dominguez. That was for the Champions League. In the Champions League, we had a couple of players mentioned, but not winning any awards. So Zupel, second best goalkeeper. We also have Ignacio mentioned in the midfielders, and Valentin Torres, who, by the way, didn't get anywhere near last year, surprisingly. We didn't get anywhere near being awarded scoring goals. So if you go to, I don't know how we can do this, goals, can't do it by year, can we? No, okay. Yeah, it was nowhere near getting the required number of goals to be in the top 3 even. Oktay also got Golden Boy in Europe, so that was good. And Diego Zupel broke a record for us with the most clean sheets in the season, with 24 clean sheets, which was good. Now, if we go and look at our supporters, this has changed a lot. So we have increased season on season by supporters by about 23 million in 1 year. That will make sense once I show you our status or stature in the world. And it also means we have way more demanding fans. So we have a lot more fair weather fans come into the club. Hardcore fans have shrunk. So I guess it's not like the hardcore fans have shrunk, is that there's lots more new followers, and they tend to be fair weather because they're only coming in because the club is getting interesting. So obviously the fans stayed, but they're just a smaller percentage now. So lots of fair weather supporters coming into the club, which is making the whole balance tip a little bit. We are now, if we go and look at Europe, and where does this come under? Lists, I guess. Reputation. We are the most reputable club in the world. And we are also, if you look at seeding, can we look at seed coefficients, maybe? Yeah, we are also the most, so basically we're the best club in Europe at the moment. Or every player wants to come here and be with us, which is amazing. So we have, surprisingly, not many transfers coming in a spoiler alert, we only have one coming in. So we'll get into that in the next season. In the next episode. For now, I just want to show you that, we have spent a lot of money improving the club. Obviously, over time, the facilities will decline in quality, so we need to keep investing in those. We have a few new objectives. We are now getting into a mindset, the players and the board and so on, where they actually expect us to win stuff. So we are expected to win the FA Cup, to win the Premier League, to win the Super Cup, to at least get to the later stages of the Champions League. So we are being expected things now, which is different from when we all started this journey onto the Hereford save. I had one change here with Valentino Torres becoming a club icon. So I think these go away after a while. The favorite personnel icons tend to stick around, and legends get engraved into the club, which is what I am. I'm a legend. We've depleted our transfer budget only because, we'll get into this in the next episode, but because a lot of the players that were on loan had scheduled transfers. So we have retained 3 of the players that we had last year. Asgeir was one of them. He's been retained, so obviously we had to pay for him. Also, sponsored Nugent, Robert Dugage. If you want to have a Nugent named after you, you can go to Patreon, sign up, and then we'll name a Nugent after you. I also have a new tier in Patreon as well, where I can look at your saves and try to suggest some improvements as well. So if you're interested in that, head over to Patreon and sign up, and then you can get in touch. So Robip doing really well. We bought him for a lot of money, probably too much money, but I'm glad that we have him back in the house since he's a sponsored Nugent anyway. He's still like one of the better players as well. So we'll have those, and we also retained, where is he? Ivan Fresneda, who's the last real player in our club. Still, he's a real player, he's a real person, and he was just probably either in Spain or just being transferred to Portugal, to Sporting. So he's still going strong, even though he's 35. Look at those physical attributes, pretty good still. Obviously, mental attributes are going to be amazing because he's got all of that experience. And he's still improving. Look at all these arrows. Obviously, agility to be expected, 35. But yeah, still improving as a player. Fantastic. So, the next thing I'm going to do, the next bit that I get into, in fact, I'm a little bit late because usually I do this straight on in July, the 1st of July. But I got a bit carried away, not going to lie, starting the new season. So, I'm only just making some adjustments to staff. So, all of these are on a contract end, so I need to review them, renew them, and so on. So at the moment, I'm just waiting for these scouts to go through. There's a recruitment analyst there as well. So I won't be looking at these scouts yet. We'll wait for that to all be completed. But what I can do, just for a minute, is look at the assistant coaches for the youth teams. Maybe even this physio here. I can look at that as well. So let's do that. So for the coaches, let's set that as our staff role. I always use these presets as a starting point. Let's also take that off and give us more realistic prospects. And it shows me right here that I can carry on and renew this guy's contract. So he is the assistant manager for the under 21s. Let's have him hired. And then for the under 18s, I got this guy. We're also going to renew his contract as well. So that was nice and easy. And now for the physio, it was a physio for under 21. So let's do that. Let's get physiotherapy up. Put the reserves back on. So that's the under 21s. And I'm going to sort by physiotherapy, sports science, and basically just keep making my way down the list. So I've got this guy here, Matthew Roach, who is ever so slightly better, maybe one could argue. So let's try that. Let's try giving him... Oh, let me just confirm I am hiring for the under 21s. Yes, I am. Must respond. So let's offer him a role as an under 21s physio. Offer a little bit less money, and he's happy. So there we go. So I won't go into the others yet because I like to do this in a gradual manner. But yeah, so slowly making my way through all of these contracts and also any vacancies. So if we go on here, overview, we have an additional vacancy for recruitment analyst. I think I'm already hiring that, so not to worry. And the 21s, I don't need all the coaches, so I'll review that separately. We do need an extra physio for the under 18s, so I didn't realize that, so let's go and do that as well. So staff search, let's drop this down to youth. Oh, so maybe I did a mistake there. Maybe I could have hired this guy. Let's see if he'll allow me to change it. Medical. Oh yeah, okay, so he's happy to be the under 18s. And I guess my other guy can have his contract renewed. Okay, save that one. Very nice. So now you're going to be an under 21s. Sorry, my machine is going through the spin cycle, so you might hear some vibrations on the microphone. Oh, he really wants to be... What if I don't want to give you the job though? Okay, so this guy really wants to go somewhere. That's fine, he can go somewhere, I guess. So this is a 17. Chris Bell. Let me introduce the reserves again. Okay. Yeah, let's approach the sign. Under 18. Let's offer him under 21s because actually that team is not as important. The under 18s is kind of where the focus is because that's where we are developing our players initially, so that's fine. I don't mind having those guys that way around. Yeah, so basically that's my process now. I'm going to go through slowly and go through all of the stuff. We didn't make any changes. You'll see this in the next episode. So, well, there is a change, but yeah. So we're going to have the same team effectively, almost, for the next season. So yeah, so hopefully we'll have the beta, I guess, in the next couple of weeks. I'm thinking we'll have the first of the developer blogs maybe end of next week, maybe even the beginning of the following week. So we'll get onto those. I'll discuss those here as well. And then I'm hoping we'll get the beta at the start of February. But hopefully I can still get through another season of this because I want to really would like to get to the club championship. There's still a year left, so don't know if I'll be able to get there in time before the beta, but that would be really good. Maybe I can still continue to play and just jump ahead to the club championship so we can do that together in an episode. Let me know what you think. So thanks so much for all the support. This was a bit of a bitty episode because I haven't been able to record as things are happening, but hopefully that was still a little bit interesting, and leave me a comment if there's anything that you'd like me to do for these final episodes of FM24. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.